Hi everybody, it's Andy Mack here, bringing you a workbench update for my Napoleonics. It's the morning after the anniversary of Waterloo, so I'm pleased to say my Prussians are now being painted up, and I'm hoping to complete a Prussian corps to add to my three main army corps of the French, the Russians, the Austrians, and now Prussians. The Prussians are from Warrior Miniatures. It's not all Prussians in front of you, but just bringing you the battalions I'm working on currently. So we've got 3 battalions here of the standard regular battalions. In the middle there we've got Landwehr, Silesian Landwehr, and behind them we've got some reserve battalions, 3 reserve battalions. They're from Warrior Miniatures. Further back you've got I'm painting up a French light cavalry battalion of chasseurs of cheval, obviously in their green coat. They're all in the pose with their arm in the air, as you can see with the sword. It is my intention to gently move them to a more sort of varied pose, some with their swords forward, some across their body, and some as it is up in the air to various degrees. To the side of them we have French dragoons. Now along with a number of Austrians, a sizable number of Austrians I've received from Paul Alba, who you may know. He also sent me a quantity of lead, basically, which were old Napoleonic, old school minifigs in the main units. Mainly French, but they've been a slow burn in a way because they are quite varied. You've got some old guard there, you've got a number of other units, but lots of lead, and I'm planning. They've been a slow burn, and I'm introducing the units now. Once I've got these 4 main corps done, all those other units will bulk up my French significantly. I've started already putting together all the artillery, so I have quite a large and sizable French artillery park once done. There is other nationalities too. I'll be bringing them into the fore as well. So watch that space for them, and I'll certainly bring you updates, because as I said, it was very kind for Paul to pass them on to me, and I'll certainly do him good justice by getting them well painted up and into my army. But these actually were already painted when they came to me, but because of storage I've just been touching them up, and I'm now in the process of, as you can see, basing them up. As I said before, I do my Napoleonics at my battalions are a 1 to 50 scale, which does mean smaller units. At this scale I do think also, though, I can combine those battalions together to make 32-man battalions if there's any rule sets that I may have care to play, if my basing allows it. But I do prefer the smaller battalions for army level core action Napoleonics. So yeah, on to the left of, to the side of the dragoons there, we have Bavarians. These are from a company that you can buy singular figures for, and it's just part of my artillery train. I think they were actually British artillery figures, but they're obviously masquerading as Bavarians, which is possible. I've just been rather crudely filing down the back of their crests to make it more in keeping with the Bavarian style helmets, as opposed to one which I think the British wear. I can't remember what they call it, the British style, but it's one like the Royal Artillery wear, which the crest sort of goes all the way around, also to the back of the helmet. Whereas if you look at Bavarian helmets, it comes in quite tightly to the neckline, so it doesn't have much crest on the back of the helmet, just on the sort of front and top. So that's my Bavarians. to go with my limbers. What else have we got? Also, I've got some Peter Pig. These are Peter Pig Wars of Roses range, late medieval. I've started painting them up. I was going to do Towton, which I can probably do now. I've got a very large amount of medieval, late medieval, sorry, Wars of Roses style figures. However, I have paused on it a bit because, not on painting them, I have been doing it as a slow burn for some time, but just in the main because I think it might actually make for quite a dull battle. For those of you who know Towton, it's a very large battle, but they literally just lined both sides up. There was a little bit of deception involved and things like that with putting some spears in the park, which is I believe a small wood, and the late arrival of Norfolk's contingent. But generally speaking, they just lined up both armies and went at it all day, chopping each other and shooting with arrows. So I'm a little bit, I think it'd be quite a good spectacle to do, but I'm just thinking actually the quality and value of a war game, probably solo, might mean quite a dull day. With lots of just rolling for melee attacks with chopping weapons and obviously some archery. Anyway, but there are other Wars of Roses armies, and obviously I can consider Bavarian armies and the late 100 Years' War armies as well, because it's all the same period. The pikemen here are Essex. They're just Essex pikemen, sort of generic late medieval pikemen, armoured. I've got some also unarmoured, but they'll be sort of mercenary units. So I'll bring you that to you someday soon. Just incidentally, Warrior also do some nice little paper flags with the troops they buy or sell. Sorry, fit for purpose. And I say when you're paying for 12 15mm figures, £2.20, then including a nice little template of flags with those figures or armies that I buy is I think very good value for money. Interestingly, you may remember my Bavarian army I did. Well, actually, I've learnt some new information on it, which I'll share with you. The Bavarian flags I did on my armour, I both did the sort of badge flags, but also with the patterned flag here, which doesn't have a badge. I've since learned that the pattern flag was introduced later, after the 1812 campaign, where a lot of, or the majority of the badge flags were lost with the obviously the disaster on the French army. So if it's a later Bavarian army, i.e. the ones that obviously joined the Allies for the 1813-14 campaigns, then, or certainly 1813, then it would be the more likely to be a patterned flag without a badge, and if it's a sort of 1809 Wagram and the earlier periods up to and including 1812, it would be the badged flags. So that's just a little detail there which I thought was interesting. With regards to my Bavarians, I may just do a couple of more badged command stands, so I can just interchange them if I want to do a later period, or not bother. Let's say at this scale, I'm really not too bothered whether a flag's slightly out of period or not. It's just the spectacle of having mass armies marching about in keeping with the Napoleonic call systems, which is what I enjoy. I've also got a recent order from Roundway Miniatures, which is for just to bulk out my Russians. Now, I actually ordered these in January, but due to circumstances for the owner or manufacturer of Roundway, there was some delay, so that was explained to me, and I perfectly accepted that. But they've arrived today, which I'm very pleased to say. And obviously, you mustn't forget, a lot of these companies are, either one-person shows or very minimal capacity. So, it's like these people who give us these maintaining our hobby. I often have it as one of a number of other commitments, or you know, there's lots of considerations that small businesses have to take into account, and so obviously I always wish them well. And I say, once it was explained to me, I was very happy to wait. But that's that. And I say, it's combined with the leads from Paul Alba. I said I should have quite a sizable Napoleonic presentation to do at some point. Incidentally, also Paul Alba also gave me some Austrians which he sourced, which were already painted. So they've joined my Austrian ranks. Yeah, and I'll certainly try and present that as a complete army at some point, but I'm still in the process of basing some of them up to my basing, yeah, it's just finding the time. There's more Prussians there from Warrior Miniatures, and that's it, guys. So I'm sorry I haven't got a tripod, and I hope you don't feel too sick. So just give you a quick run over, a sort of drone shot. And wishing you all happy wargaming. It's great having hobbies. You know, it keeps our mind active in things we enjoy. Always good. So wishing you all every success with your hobbies and circumstances. And Andy Mac out. Oh, incidentally, before I forget, I will be bringing you a more complete battle report. I've done, as you may see on my channel, I've done a number of little battles which have been incomplete, or which really just me getting a feel for solo wargaming and how to present them in a wargame, how I want to present them. I've done, obviously I had quite a lot of learning from those experiences, and I will plan and will succeed in bringing a complete wargame soon. So watch this space. I've also been developing and building further terrain, buying it in and painting stuff up, and also making some. So that'll be a feature in the coming weeks and months. So do stay linked in, and hopefully there'll be more fun with big battles, both medieval and Napoleonic, and also maybe some DBA. I'll be very inspired by some DBA channels, which I've been following, and so that's reignited my fire for perhaps bringing or making some of the DBA armies out of all the masses of medieval stuff and ancient stuff I've also got. So Andy Mac, send you all best regards, take care, bye.